Hi ladies, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. I have a different kind of video for you today. It's a cooking video. I love to cook and my husband loves to cook. He's actually the better cook of the two of us. I love to bake, but I also really love to cook because I really love to eat. I don't talk about that a lot on my channel. I really love to eat. I was kind of a plump kid when I was like 10 and under. I was a little chubby. So I do love to eat. I do have to watch it. I've always been thin naturally after I had my growth spurt, but yeah, and I wasn't even very discerning about what I ate. If we had a box of ho-hos, Hostess ho-hos in the house, my mom said I always had to have two, one for each hand. She even tried to play a trick on me once where she would write very, very small on the box how many were in the box. And I was on to her, so I would erase it and change it after I ate one. She figured it out. But anyway, I'm an eater. So because I'm an eater, I'm also an intermittent faster. And that seems to work for me. I try to fast each day between 14 and 16 hours, which is easy for me because I'm sleeping the bulk of it. And then I just have like iced coffee in the morning or coffee, which is an appetite suppressant. And I get busy with my day and kind of ignore food till about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And I have like an 8 to 6 hour window that I do allow myself to eat. And when I do eat, I eat low carb, but I'm not keto. I eat healthy carbs and I avoid white starchy carbs like potatoes, rice, stuffing, white breads, pastries. I love all that stuff. I do allow myself to eat cookies and pastries and cakes when I'm celebrating, or if I've just been being really good and healthy, then I'll allow myself to have a little treat. I don't believe in depriving myself because if I deprive myself, that's all I'll think about all the time is when I can have that cookie or that cake because I also have a sweet tooth. I avoid candy. And instead I chew sugarless gum. So I don't eat candy hardly ever. So that's how I manage my weight and it seems to be working for me. But since I love to eat and love to cook, I do have some cookbooks that I wanted to share with you. And they're the cookbooks that I was raised eating the foods from. My mother cooked from them and all our family recipes are pretty much from them. And I cook for my family from them. Now my husband is Czechoslovakian and he grew up eating a very kind of Slovenian, Czechoslovakian diet, and I'm mostly German, so we both enjoy sausage and sauerkraut and pierogies and a lot of Eastern European foods, but I do have to be very careful with those because I was raised with meat and potatoes and gravy and all that kind of stuff. So I don't eat those kinds of foods quite so much, but I still cook from the cookbooks. My daughters are vegetarians and the cookbooks that I was raised eating from and that I'm now cooking from, it's very easy to adapt many of the recipes for a vegetarian as well. So I'm going to share those with you. I'm going to share my favorite frozen foods with you because now that we're all kind of hunkered in and eating a lot at home, I do like to eat some frozen foods for lunch sometimes that I keep in my freezer, and they're the healthiest ones I can find and they're fairly low in calories and they're satisfying. So I'm going to share those with you. And then I'm going to share with you a couple of cookbooks that if you aren't a cook and would like to become a cook, they're very, very simple and they're good to have on hand and they can help you get started. I'm going to start there. But before I start, let me also say I also cook from an Instapot. I cook from my crock pot. We have an air fryer. I mean, we love to cook. We're always cooking. So our kitchen is not stocked with the best cookware or the best this, but it is stocked with everything that a cook will need. You get a lot of that stuff at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, online. You don't have to shop at Williams-Sonoma or Crate and Barrel to get good supplies for cooking. Target is sufficient, and you don't even have to have a large kitchen. You can have, growing up, we did not have a large kitchen, and my husband's mom had a very, very tiny kitchen, and he's the youngest of 12, and she cooked the most amazing meals in that kitchen. She made her own pasta from scratch. She was just amazing, and his sisters are all amazing cooks. And so you don't have to have the best. You don't have to have an amazing kitchen. If you have a kitchen with a microwave, a range top, you know, I think a crock pot is always a really good thing to have, but you don't have to spend a lot on that kind of stuff. So I just want to encourage you that anyone can cook. And I'm going to share with you a YouTube channel that I love to watch for cooking as well. I hope I remember to do all this. Okay, so here we go. The first thing I'm going to share with you is what a good cook knows. And this is a really great cookbook for a beginner cook or a seasoned cook. And it answers everything that you possibly need to know. Replacements for things, like if you don't have buttermilk and a recipe calls for it, what you could use instead. What kind of oils work with certain dishes? How to make a lattice top pie. Let's see. What apple varieties are best for baking? How you can tell your muffins are perfectly baked and ready to come out of the oven. Very simple questions and more complex questions. How to save over salted foods. You know, if you're cooking a recipe and you've over salted it, what to do. So this is like something to have on hand for any cook, a beginner or a seasoned cook. What good cooks know. It's America's Test Kitchen, and I will link it below in the description box. When you see the links, the covers of these books might have changed because I don't replace them with the new edition. The next one I would really recommend, because this has been a game changer in my cooking, and this is Mastering Spice. And so if you make a dish, like you can make Brussels sprouts any way you like them, in the oven, on the stove top, in your air fryer, which is how I like them. I like them really crispy on the outside. And they're delicious, but you might get tired of eating them the same way. And so this book will teach you how to put seasonings and spices together in different ways that you might not have even thought about, or just to up your cooking game. There's a lot of spices that are very healthy and nutritious for us. It'll tell you about those spices, how to use them. Even if you think you don't like spices, you will find spices that you do like. You don't have to be overly seasoning your food to enjoy this cookbook. And it also tells you about spices that aid in digestion. This is a great book. What does it say? Should I tell you more about it? I guess not. I have a lot to say about this video. If you have any questions about anything that I'm sharing, I can make another video answering more questions. Just leave them below. Now this one is for the cooking nerd, but I think anyone can benefit from this. Now my husband and I are both in the medical field, and we're both kind of science nerds. We love science, and I have a degree in science and biology, and my husband has just studied chemistry and biology and all that. And so we love knowing the chemistry of cooking. And there used to be a show on the Food Network, and you can probably still find this show maybe on YouTube or in other places. Alton Brown, I believe his name is, and he had a whole show about the science of cooking, and it tells you about the chemistry that happens when you're cooking. And this book is so interesting, A Cook's Science, and this tells you about how to unlock flavors by cooking, about having the right amount of proteins in your food versus the amount of oils, and what seasonings will work. When you're baking, you're adding your baking powder versus your baking soda, and you're adding in other ingredients that a chemistry is happening. And when you're cooking with proteins, which are amino acids, how to really capitalize on that grease and oil it produces by adding the right seasonings in. I hope it makes sense, but this is A Cook's Science, and it's fascinating. It's a really good book. You don't need it. If you're a beginner cook, you might want to pass on this one and just get the other two first. But if you really like to cook and you're really fascinated about that kind of stuff, it'll really help you unleash some interesting flavors in your cooking. So that one is optional. Now, the next two cookbooks are the best cookbooks in the whole wide world, in my opinion. And they are the ones that I was raised eating from. My mom had these. She bought these for me for my wedding gift. So they're probably 22 years old now. I did not update the rest. I did not get the new editions. I do have lots of notes and pages paper clipped in these, updating recipes or recipes that I've experimented with and I've found something that works better. So there are pages in here for you to do that and take your own notes. And these are just the best wedding present ever. Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook. My mom loved this cookbook. She cooked our lasagna, our Salisbury steak, our meatloaf, our homemade mac and cheese, our ribs, pork roasts, fruit cobblers. It tells you all about cheeses. It tells you all about oils, how to cook your fish and shellfish, and what kinds of things go well together. And it does also have substitutions and things like that. And there's even like wrinkled pages and food on the pages. It's just been used so much. You can tell my favorite recipes by how crinkly the pages are. Spaghetti pie, stuffed green peppers, chili mac skillet, meat and cornbread squares. I know it sounds very American, very American, and it is. Pecan pie, your turkey at Thanksgiving time. I reach for this all the time. I have learned, like I said, to tweak recipes. I often use those other cookbooks to incorporate things I've learned into these recipes, but this is my all-time favorite cookbook. The next cookbook that I love just as much, I'd say, just as much. You don't need both. They have a lot of the same kinds of recipes, but I cook from both of them. And this is the Betty Crocker's new cookbook. And it's basically the same kind of thing. How to make your own pasta if you'd like to do that. Your fettuccine alfredo, turkey tetrazzini, pasta primavera. It's all in here. And these are the cookbooks I reach for all the time. I try to follow a paleo type diet, so I did get a couple of cookbooks that I've been cooking from in the past several years, like maybe the past 4 or 5 years. And these are really great recipes. They're updated recipes from the Betty Crocker and the Better Homes and Garden. But if you're paleo and you're trying to eat really healthy and kind of stay away from carbs and things like that, and eat more whole ingredients that you know what I mean, you're not using a lot of flour and starches in your cooking, you would like Everyday Paleo. And Everyday Paleo, it's not a very thick cookbook, and it has very simple paleo recipes, and they're really tasty and healthy. And like I said, all the ingredients are whole food ingredients, but very, very healthy. This one is Everyday Paleo Chili Verde. It's different than the chili in my other cookbook, which is the easiest and best chili recipe in the world, in my opinion. Hungarian stew. Let's see. I haven't made the slow chicken curry, but like even cauliflower hummus. That's really good if you're trying not to eat like a lot of carbs, so you wouldn't use chickpeas. You'd use cauliflower instead. Korean barbecue sauce. It's really tasty and good. It's healthier. If you're eating for comfort, go with the Betty Crocker, the Better Homes and Gardens. But if you're eating for health and well-being, like I tend to like to eat, but my husband works hard, and I'm gonna make him what he wants to eat, the way he wants to eat it. And he is a meat and potatoes man. Okay. This one is Practical Paleo, and this is a thicker cookbook, and it has a lot more recipes in it. Baked kale chips, so yummy. I don't eat a lot of chips because, like I said, they're all like full of carbs, but I do make kale chips, and these are delicious. And that recipe's in here. Anyways, it's just full of great, healthy options, and this is how I like to eat. Then I do have an Instapot, and my mom got it for me for Christmas a couple of years ago, and she got me the Instapot cookbook. I love the recipes in this cookbook. I've made French onion soup. I've made Hungarian goulash. I've made all kinds of things in it. And this I haven't cooked from since we've been in quarantine, because I like to use the Instapot when I'm in a hurry, when I'm running carpool, doing a lot of different things, and I have to cook dinner in a hurry. The Instapot is amazing for that. While we're in quarantine, we're using the crock pot a lot more. Now here's a more, this might intimidate some people because it's a lady who has a cooking show, Ina Garden, the Barefoot Contessa. She had a cooking show that was just beautiful. I loved to watch it. And she has a cookbook, but most of the recipes in here are very simple. And so this is what it looks like. The Barefoot Contessa Foolproof. They're her foolproof recipes that anybody can make and you won't mess them up. And they are absolutely delicious. So if you want to impress someone or yourself, get this cookbook. This is even good for beginners because it will teach you things that you don't think you could learn. That's how it was for me. So now I'm gonna share with you my favorite frozen meals. During the day, sometimes I like to eat a warm lunch that's really healthy and delicious and leaves me satisfied. Some of these are very, very low in calories and some are a little bit higher. If they are higher in calories, I'll cut them in half and eat half and save the other half, or I'll share the other half with my daughter, Paulina, who's home from college for the rest of the summer. So the first one is Amy's enchilada, black bean and vegetable enchiladas. It looks like this. For these 2 enchiladas, I think there's only 170 calories in here, and it's fairly low carb too. This has 22 carbs for both, but sometimes I'll eat them as a snack and share one with my daughter, and then it's just a very reasonable snack or light lunch. I like to eat both. You can recognize all the ingredients in the ingredient list on the Amy's meals. They're very healthy and nutritious, and they're in the organic section of the grocery store, or some grocery stores just keep them in the frozen section where everything else is. But Amy's everything is really good. They have crackers. They have, like, even in the dry food section, they have Amy's products, and they're really good. They're healthier than other things. So the next one is one that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it's really tasty, and it's Indian food. This one has 340 calories, but it's a very kind of very satisfying. I don't eat the whole thing. But if this is like dinner on a night my husband's working late, I will eat the whole thing. 340 calories for dinner is not bad, and this does leave you satisfied. It has like this creamed spinach, which is very, very tasty. It does have some rice, and the rice has like some seasoning in it, and then it has like some bean type of thing over here with cheese, and it's really tasty, and I like this one a lot. I also like the tortilla and bean casserole. They make these dishes that are in the frozen section of Amy's, and it's like a little casserole that's really, really tasty. I wanted to film this video when I purchased all of these, but we have been eating them, so I don't have as many to show you. But Amy's is always really good. And they also have a vegetable lasagna that is so, so tasty, and this has 350 calories. There are a lot of Amy's meals that have less than 200 calories or just slightly over 200 calories. And if I eat one of those, like I said, I can have 2 if I want, because like I said, I love to eat. So I can have another one if I want. But if I have like the 300 and some calories, this would be like a whole meal for me. And they make this one also in a gluten-free option. There are gluten-free options for Amy's. This one is a higher calorie one, and this one has 450 calories, and it has like 23 grams of carbs. So this one is a heartier meal, but it's delicious, and it's the Chinese noodles and vegetables in a cashew cream sauce. And it has vegetables in it, and it has tofu if you like tofu. I know a lot of people don't like tofu, but I don't mind it. And this is what this one looks like. My daughter loves this one. Really delicious. So that would be a meal on its own. That would be a really hearty meal. Now, the next ones are amazingly delicious. They're not as clean eating as the Amy's, but I do enjoy these very much. And they're from Lean Cuisine. Lean Cuisine has like the comfort foods, and it also has a marketplace, and I think there's one other, and I like the comfort and the marketplace. This one is the Lean Cuisine Marketplace tortilla crusted fish, and this only has 310 calories, and it's just so delicious and very, very satisfying. Speaking of satisfying, some of the Amy's meals are very, very low in calories and very, very healthy. There's one, I think it's quinoa, summer squash, and chard. And I thought, okay, this is going to be great. I'm going to get this one because it's so low in carbs. I could eat dessert, but it left me very dissatisfied. And so I just kept thinking about food all evening. So that's just a word of warning about the super healthy ones. Like, who really wants to be eating quinoa and chard? It's not satisfying. Okay, this one's a Lean Cuisine Comfort roasted turkey breast. This has 290 calories. It has like apples, sauteed apples, which are so delicious. It has a little bit of dressing, some roasted turkey, so delicious, really good. I love that one. And then here's another one that's really good from the Comfort range also. And this is the Lean Cuisine Comfort Herb Roasted Chicken. And look at this, it's almost like a chicken marsala. It has like a mushroom kind of like sauce on the top. And it's got loads of vegetables that are so delicious on the side. You really feel like you're cheating when you eat foods like these. And this one has only 170 calories. So you could eat 2 of these if you really saved the calories in your bank, if you really wanted more, or you have enough, you could eat this, feel satisfied, and then have like a little dessert or something. So these are really, really delicious. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. Some of my favorite frozen foods, cookbooks, talk about cooking, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit long, but I thought I would just share it with you because I know a lot of you like to cook and eat too. Leave me comments below sharing with me what cookbooks you love and just anything that will help me explore more options with food and eating because I love to eat. So I'll see you next time. I hope you all have a very blessed and beautiful day.